although it's a bit late, I didn't want to let it slip by because I want to get to all the signs that we didn't get to last night. Because I know I'm a YouTube person and there's nothing more infuriating than someone posting all of the signs except yours. That's like totally mean. Hey, Lady BL. So this is going to be for, absolutely, you can ask a question. Ask away. That's why I'm here. I'm just setting up a little bit, but yeah, go for it. Getting everything ready. I am ready for your question. I have a lot of stuff on my desk right now. My hair is all salty. From the beach. Okay, I'm ready. Okay. I'll pull a card for you about that. Let's see. Unseen friends, guides, archangels, and ancestors, please be present to provide us with the clearest, most impactful, and truest information possible. Thank you. This card is for Fatima in regard to her Pisces. Interesting. I think he will get in touch with you, yes. I think he will reach out. Or also, the thing is there might be someone better for you that's an earth sign, Fatima. So a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo. I feel like this person is already close to you, like they're around in your world. And maybe because you're so caught up in thinking about this other person, the Pisces, that you're not quite seeing that they're there, and that they could be quite a good match to all the things that you're looking for in a relationship. And so you actually receiving this message from me is it's your notice to be aware that this person that's better than Ricardo, or I think that was his name, Alfredo, sorry. And then all you need to do is kind of let go of the idea that the Pisces has to come back, and you'll be able to quickly and easily find someone better. So I think that's really what I'm meant to tell you. That if you let go, I'm gonna draw one more card for you. That if you let go, you can find someone that's ready to be with you and has a lot of the qualities that you want for Fatima. Love. It's love. So love is there. But maybe not with the person that you think. And Archangel Uriel can help you let go. So if you need someone to call upon, call on Archangel Uriel. Uriel. Do you want to do a little spell on that, Fatima? A little magic spell on letting go? Because we can. What do we think? Okay, now that we've done that single question, I'm going to move on to all of the signs that I missed yesterday. So hopefully people will just be tuning in as I'm doing the signs. And I think that I'm going to start with Aries. Hey, Champagne. I was going to start with Aries rising because you're better off letting go, Fatima. Yes, you can get what you want by letting go rather than holding on, because there's already someone better for you, and they're nearby. So it's not like you have to wait a long time. So as soon as you're ready to let go, you can have more of what you want. We've been through eclipses, so it's a time to let go and let the new things in. So, what are the rising signs of the people that are in the chat so far? Because if there's one that I haven't covered from yesterday, I'll start with that one. So if you are... You're welcome. If you are an Aquarius rising, if you are an Aries rising, it is hard. But then once you do it and you just go through it and you look back, you're like, that was really good. Okay, Leo rising. I did one for you yesterday because, is today your birthday? Because you said yesterday that tomorrow was your birthday maybe. But yeah, we'll do one for Leo rising to start, okay? We're also gonna do some cool happy birthday champagne. We should all have some champagne to celebrate your birthday, but I don't have any right now. So I'm gonna do some like some magic stuff to like give you blessings for your birthday. So I do magic. I'm a galactic shaman. I was just born with it, so it's really just been for me to Hi, Sandy. So we're celebrating Champagne's birthday. They're turning 30. They're a Leo. I don't know if they're a man or a woman, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. And we're gonna do some magic to like make it an amazing birthday and clear out everything that would stand in the way of their greatest growth. So this is honoring all that you've come through, Champagne, all of the experiences, all of the hardships, all of the victories, all of the ancestors that are with you, that are rooting for you, that are sending you love and watching over you as you grow and become a greater being. We honor them and your lineage and their contribution to your life and to the dance of life as a whole. And we also honor you, for you are here to do great things. You are here to bravely show us the way, because you are the lion, the leader, the heart, the truth, and the pulse of life. Just like the sun is our pulse of life, you carry that energy for us. And we thank you and we bless you on your solar return. And then, now we'll get started. So, Leo rising, Leo rising. Let's see. You just had, now that this is, I'm talking to all Leo risings now, or all Leos in general, or Leo moons too. You guys and girls and everything in between, you just had a eclipse in Leo with Mercury retrograde and the North Node. So we had this proud and brave forging forth towards a greater destiny. We had a revision of the things that make our heart beat with life and passion and joy. We were revising the things that we were putting our heart behind. We were taking a look at the ways in which we communicate from the heart and how we can do that better. And we also looked at the ways in which we hide our truth and we hide our light for many reasons. And we got a chance to become very vulnerable and innocent and open with ourselves and others, to just let the heart come through and also speak to the universe from the heart and say, this is who I am, this is where I stand, and this is where I want to lead myself into the future. So we all got that chance, not just Leos, but Leos especially are still kind of feeling the effects of that eclipse that took place over the weekend, over last weekend, and they're going to be the most heavily and powerfully impacted by this new beginning. So Leos are having a great new beginning. It's very special to have your birthday close to this time, because it's almost like, every birthday we have is a new beginning. It's a return of the sun to the place it was at our birth. So it's a rebirth, and then the double rebirth of the new moon and the added power of the eclipse on top of that means that it's like a super special time. And to have this around your 30th, it means a lot. So on the bottom of the deck for Leos, we have two energies. We have the Six of Swords, which is a shield that has the pelican and the phoenix. And so we're moving away from self-sacrifice, because the pelican in medieval times and in agnostic lore, the pelican was thought to kind of rip its own chest open to feed its young. So there's this element of sacrifice and kind of torturous, it's not looking nice. You know, there's blood coming out of this bird's breast. And above it, we have the phoenix, so rising from the ashes. And this is basically a time in which you're being reborn. You know, you're moving away from the hard times where we had felt that we needed to sacrifice ourselves. Oh yeah, 88, and then month 8 in 2018, so it's a lot. And then and we just had 8-8, which is the Lion's Gate. And so we're kind of, yeah, like the phoenix, being reborn from the ashes. Then on this hand, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So we have this cosmic being of Earth kind of manifesting this powerful new raw energy. It's like God itself is creating a new beginning for you, and it's giving you the raw power of Earth. So this power in Earth hasn't taken any form yet, but it can take a form and it can nourish a powerful, strong foundation. But it's yours now to work with. So you've been given the blessing of energy. You're moving away from the past in towards a rebirth, but now it's your turn to basically turn it into something worthwhile. So now I'm going to do the actual spread. That was a lot. Also, people were calling me from downstairs, but they need to know that if I don't answer, it's because I'm doing this. Hey Samuel, I'll get to you in a second, okay? I'm answering a question, but yes, you can answer a question. What? Oh. You can also tell us your rising sign, because I'm going to end up reading for all of the rising signs that I missed yesterday, last night. Okay. Very nice, Leo. Okay. So for your current position, Leos, you have the Two of Swords, and it's basically talking about not really knowing where to dedicate yourself quite yet. It's about being a little bit indecisive about which direction you're going to take, and it's about having like a lot of kind of indecision in the mind. And that's fine, because right after an eclipse, you don't need to know right away. It's a time to let things kind of come to you, whether they be thoughts, inspirations, people, opportunities, etc. It's a time to just watch as things fall back into place, kind of in the aftermath of what the eclipse brought. So here we have something that is just saying, yeah, you might be a little confused about where to go next, but that's fine. So what you need to realize is that this is a time of peace, okay? So while you may be feeling like there's a decision to be made or you've got to do something right away, and you're kind of just like, you know, you're like swiping at the air, kind of like there's nothing there, but you feel like you've got things around you you've got to like do. It's a time to calm yourself, because these are wands and usually they're very active energies, right? But this is a peaceful moment in the forest where she's like blessing the wands, and she's like basically giving them power before she gives them out to like the wizards and witches to use in their journeys. So this is a time of peace, it's a time of quiet, of letting the light in and just receiving the light. So if you are Leo and you are by a place where you can get sun, you know, going to a beach at sunset or waking up and watching the sunrise is super powerful at this time to give you nurturing soul energy and to calm your nerves, because when we go through a lot of changes, our nerves can be kind of jumpy, and the particular solar rays that come in at sunrise and sunset are very calming to the nerves. And so what you'll find yourself doing next is beginning to work on something that you love to do. The Three of Pentacles is about creation. It corresponds with the Empress, which is the third card in the major arcana, which it's all about the pure creative principle, bringing out beauty and power and, you know, bringing out the pure creative essence from anything that they touch. And so this is about, also finding the right people that can be collaborators with you, that can come together with you, and with all of you having individual and different expertise, kind of contribute to creating something greater than what any of you could do on your own. So you're about to embark on making something new, and being very, like, becoming in a more creative cycle. The challenge, it seems, is the Lovers. So it's not so much that romance or love is a challenge. It's just about using your power in the right way. I had this download about the Lovers over the weekend because I was like in the mountains and I was sitting on this tree stump. And to me, the Devil and the Lovers are kind of with, yeah, and this is the card of a Gemini. So this is the card of Gemini. So if you are dealing with a Gemini, perhaps that is an issue. But I wouldn't worry, because as long as you are at peace, and as long as you are not kind of feeling antagonistic or like feeling attacked, and even if you are feeling attacked, if you can kind of put that to rest and know that this is a supreme moment for you, and that no one should, no matter what anyone's doing, it shouldn't bother you, because you've got it. You know, you've got the power right now, and the more at ease you are, the better it's all gonna go. So don't let this person bug you. They're a Gemini. Geminis can be a little bit rabid and weird if they're not in balance. So for you, it's also a moment to really connect and unify within yourself. So balancing with the feminine and the masculine within you, and also seeing what's the highest outcome of the situation. You know, a fight or an argument or a conflict or whatever is not the highest outcome. If you give up the situation to like divine will or to your guides, you know, we're seeing this spirit being over them, then you can reach a better turnaround than if you are to try and like attack the situation with your mind. Don't be mental about this, come from the heart and talk to spirit about it. Also, in your higher blessing, you have the stars. So it is a moment of destiny. Destiny is calling, basically. And you are, this is also the card of Aquarius, which is in your 7th house, if you're a Leo rising. And it's also where we have your close one-on-one relationship. So this can be a nod to just an overall sense of finding your place in the world, or connecting to your path in a greater way. So perhaps aligning to a creative project and a group or collective of people that feels like it is totally on purpose for you, or meeting a soulmate, or just experiencing like destined events that give you a glimmer of the future that's to come for you. And with the star, it's also important to remember that this is not coming like tomorrow. This is something that's a bit in the distance, but it is like glimmering, showing you that it's a time to be hopeful. It's a time to be letting your connection to spirit take precedence over what your mind is telling you, and that the less that you struggle, the easier it will come. So your final card, Leos from the archangels. It is cherish innocence. So yeah, not having an agenda, because the heart doesn't have an agenda. It doesn't have a social or emotional or, you know, like it doesn't have requirements or qualifications. It's about having that open-heartedness that is just being. And that's your power position, Leo. That's going to get you noticed by the people that can be in this powerful new beginning, building together, that can support the growth of this new earth energy that you are, the new foundation that you're opening up to, and that can, you know, let the events of your destiny unfold in peace and harmony. So really cherishing your innocence and seeing any kind of hurts and misgivings of the past through the eyes of love, and being able to forgive them, and returning to you and your innocence, because, you know, that's beautiful. You're welcome, Champagne. I wish you the best. I'm excited for you. I'm glad that you found my channel in time. Let's see. I have a couple. Divine timing. Okay, I'm just checking the chat right now. Okay. So, Jamia Johnson / Samuel Jordan, do you have a question? You guys are funny. Okay, that's your birthday. So, does that mean you're a Libra? No, it means you're a Virgo. I don't know. Just tell me your sign, Jamia, or ask a question. Because I'm not doing charts right now, I'm just doing like astrology off the top of my head plus tarot. Was it your brother that caused your childhood trauma? You're a Virgo, yes. Jamia, I'll do a reading for you, and it's going to be a message for you. And it may speak to the question you asked, or it may not, and I'm just going to interpret it as I see it. So if it touches on that question that you asked, then you will know, and it won't be something that will be obvious to anyone else. And if it's not, this is just a general message for you. Okay, perfect. So, divine guides, archangels, and beings of the light, please be present at this time to give Jamia Johnson the truest truth, the clearest path forward, and the greatest good for her life in the clearest message possible. Thank you. So Virgos in Leo season are dealing with their 12th house. And so the 12th house for a Virgo has to do with, for any Virgo, has to do with letting go. It has to do with the past and the subconscious. So for Virgos in Leo season, it can be a very triggering time. They can feel mentally very caught up and unclear, and they can also have things coming up from their past that cause them a lot of stress. So before I start the reading, I'm going to do a little bit of clearing for you to make all of that kind of tone down a bit, and to make it a very clear space for you to receive this message that has nothing to do with maybe the stress that you've been feeling, because you have a really good message coming for you. So just close your eyes, and I'm gonna do a little like clearing. Take a deep breath too. Exhale. Take some more deep breaths. We're clearing now. So you can have a really great birthday month. Yeah, because it's almost birthday time, and we want that to be a clean slate for you. You're also going to have a full moon in your 7th house at the end of this month, which is the house of close partnerships. So the people closest to us in our life. We're going to have a certain kind of illumination. Something is going to show up at that time to show you who's in and who's out, who belongs in your life and who doesn't, and it's going to be an easy choice for you to know who to keep around and who to let move on. Okay. Now that we're nice and calm. Jamia, it's a good time for you, because in terms of the people closest to you, you're lucky. You have good friends. You have at least 1 or 2 good friends around you, or at least allies or people who understand you, and that can make you feel safe and secure, and that you can rely on. That's something to be grateful for, and perhaps something that you've been wishing for a long time. This, in general, is a time in which you can get the wishes that you've had. So having gratitude for the people in your life opens doors for more blessings to come in. What you're going to be working on from this point forward through the next year of your life is building a solid foundation for yourself. So let's say that you did have childhood trauma. You're going to be working to heal that and restore the sense of purity and innocence that you may feel was robbed from you. And you're going to be able to do that because you are going to find people that can help you. People that can help you heal. People that are either practitioners or specialists in some way, kind of like me, or perhaps just really good friends and allies and maybe even family members or coworkers that are there to just hold space for you while you rebalance, you let some stuff go. Because by the end of, like by your next birthday after this one, so like in a year's time, you can come to a place where you've built a very strong foundation for yourself, and that you've returned yourself to a place of like inner purity where you don't feel as scarred, or you don't feel as hurt, or you don't feel like something's wrong with you. You're feeling very pristine, and it's because you've done the work to get yourself back to where you need to be. And it's all going to give you an amazing perspective. This card looks a little weird, but it's the card of being kind of held back from something in order for you to gain very necessary experience. So you'll look back at this time and be like, wow, I thought that it was perhaps, a bad time or a hard time. And what you'll see is that it's actually a time in which you had a lot of growth, and that you needed those things to happen the way they did, even as seemingly painful as they were when they were happening or leading up to it, to get you, to push you to do the things that would help you grow into the best version of you and to create the best life for yourself. The life as you see it in your mind. So being able to fulfill your own wishes and manifest your own destiny is basically what this time is going to be teaching you. It's going to be helping you and guiding you. Astrologically, we're in a place where we have a lot of really good aspects for structuring anew. So building from the ground up a gradually grown and strong foundation for ourselves. So your catalyst card from the angels is Archangel Raphael. So he is a healing angel. He's like watching over Earth in this picture. So while you're doing this healing on perhaps childhood stuff or any part of your life really, you can call upon Archangel Raphael. So I'm going to demonstrate what this is like. So if like, let's say you're doing some kind of healing work, or you're going to see a therapist, or you're going to just do yoga or meditation or something like that, where you're working on yourself, you can just, take some breaths and you can say, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Raphael, I call upon you. Oh, he's coming, I can see him. I call upon you to please help me heal my heart, to heal the past and my family line, and to heal my life and my foundations so that I can grow and prosper. Thank you. So it's that easy, you just call upon these beings that are quantum beings that are able to be with any number of people at any given time, and to be able to help you bridge the gaps in understanding, in energetic work within your body. And also, as you're calling on Raphael, like picture the green light, because he is a green energy, so a heart energy and a healing energy. Sound good? That's your reading. I wish you the best. So we've done Leo. Where's that chat? We've done Leo. You're welcome. So then I'm just going in order here. So Gayatri Girish, are you still here? I appreciate you watching, Jamia. I hope that it's a very successful time for you. So Gayatri, are you still here? Because I'll do yours next. And if not, I'll move on to, oh, you're here, awesome. Okay, so you said you were Pisces, you were Capricorn ascendant, Moon in Virgo. That's interesting. Cool. So technically this is like, no, I'm just gonna do it for you. I'm just gonna be like, okay, it's for Gayatri. So, for Gayatri, we call upon the lineage of light and wisdom to provide us and show us the clearest path forward, the truest truth, and the greatest good. Thank you. And Prisa will be next. And King James, I don't know who you're asking for their happiest memory. So are you asking me? Because I'll tell you. And if it's not me, everybody write their happiest memory in the chat. Like, that'll bring the vibes up majorly. Okay, Gayatri. On the bottom of the deck, we have the sun. So this is positivity. This is you can almost picture like the light of the sun lighting up this entire reading. So it's just raising the vibration of the entire message, and it's putting a positive spin on all of it. So keep that in mind as I'm continuing to speak. This whole reading is like blessed by the sun, by the sun's warmth. Okay? So first we have Seven of Cups. And so this is pointing to a moment of many options. And there are a great variety in front of you, but as you can see, there is one best option. And it's not necessarily the biggest cup. It's just the cup that you want, or the cup that you're drawn to. But you are sitting in a place where you have choices. And so it can be hard to decide right now. But in your higher blessing, right across, we have the High Priest. So this is the card of Taurus, and it's the card of finding your purpose. So this is all about coming to a place in life where you are established in a role. And that role is the purpose that you came here for in this lifetime. So do you have an idea of like what your purpose is, or like what you want to do? I'm curious. Because the catalyst, or like the what to do next kind of card is pointing to me that you may be like a kind of messenger of spirit. Because the Princess of Wands is somebody who brings in the power of fire energy, which is like raw spirit. And she's kind of like the messenger. She's the first one to show up with this upwelling of spiritual power. You know, and she is power itself in a sense, but she's a very raw source of power. So she doesn't like guidance necessarily, but it's good for her to help her shape this raw talent, perhaps, into something that is more refined and sustainable. And so in order for you to do that, it's a good time to seek quiet meditation. It's a time to put the activity of the mind aside and to let answers come to you. To let the answers be shown to you in silence and stillness, rather than trying to figure things out or, you know, just make a decision, because doing so is going to allow you to initiate yourself into the proper position in life. You know, this could be having some kind of tutorship or tutelage with a master, where you could be like their apprentice of some sort, and they help you refine your talents and skills. Or it could just be that you, through meditation, become very clear on where it is, you know, where is your lane. And so when you find your lane, you can stick to it and you can go all the way. But it's a high vibration. It's a high vibration here. So I feel that like, even if you do take time away to just be in kind of darkness, stillness, silence, the light will shine through for you quite strongly. And you can also know that what's coming to you in that silence is something that you can trust, right? Because it's coming from the divine source. You know, it's not coming from the subjective viewpoint of a human being that has its biases, or even your own conditioning, you know, what you've been taught to think or how you've been taught to think. Because when we put that mental work aside and just basically listen for what the universe has to say, then the bigger answers can come. And as I like to say, the best answers show up before the question has even been asked. So instead of asking, and searching, just be in a space of letting it be shown to you, and be confident that it will be shown to you. And that's basically going to let you balance out your life. You know, justice is also known as adjustment. It's the card of Libra. So it's a card that, you know, like the scales suggest, allows us to balance out all of the aspects of our lives and let the things go that don't need to be there, that are tipping the balance in against our favor, and to let things come back into the proper order so that they can flow and be healthy and be aligned with truth. This is the sort of truth that she's wielding. So again, it's not like she's standing up, running around trying to do this. She's in a very empowered, seated position, and she's letting the adjustment happen almost on its own because she's so attuned. Her sword of truth is like a radio antenna. She's attuned to a higher frequency. And so with that higher frequency channeling through her, balance is the natural order that's coming through. And it doesn't take a lot of politicking or overdoing things or, you know, trying too hard. So good stuff. You are going to find a good decision. You are going to find that best answer for yourself. But it requires you. Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you, Karen, for coming. So yeah, Gayatri, it's going to come. Don't worry. Just double down on your meditation skills and trust the universe more, because sometimes we think, oh, I've got to make the decision, and sometimes it's more about not letting the decision be made for us, but letting things greater than our own little human mind and ego, like, give us some hints. So, yeah. Oh, I'll do one more from the other deck just to kind of clarify the whole thing. This is my new deck. It's called Archangel Inspiration. Yeah. Okay. This is interesting because it says be accommodating. So I think this is really cool because it's like, it's kind of showing us the sun again, and it's showing us you kind of just letting that warmth wash over you and letting that good feeling be the thing that sets the tone. And that's going to be where you find the inspiration you need to pick the direction that's best for you. So not from tension, not from stress, not from worry, but from just letting it kind of show up just as naturally as the sun rises. It doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to overthink it, and you don't have to worry that, you know, you're going to make the wrong choice. You know, because deep down, you do know. You do know what's best for you, and that's what the silence helps you get to. It helps you clear out all the other voices, so just the one true voice remains. Good stuff. Okay. Who's here? Thank you, Karen. Got done with Gayatri. Prisa, Jalise, are you here? Prisa. And sorry if I'm saying anyone's name wrong, but I tend to get people's names right for some reason. I have beach hair. It's awesome. It's very Leo season. Yes. Gayatri, look up a guided meditation, you know, on YouTube. Just a guided meditation, because when you have like an audio to like focus your mind on, then it's like your mind can kind of slowly take its hands off the wheels, and then things can start moving more organically. So try some kind of guided meditation. I will make a guided meditation eventually, but I don't want you to wait for me to do that because I'm not sure when that's going to happen yet. But subscribe to my channel so that you will know when it comes out. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, Virgo moon can overthink for sure. And Pisces can get really lost in its mind, so. Who's here? Let me know in the chat. Nice. Thanks, Gayatri. This is my new amethyst. It's quite a beaut. I did a little journeying with them today, and it was really powerful. He's just a little piece, but he's packing. That purple is so vivid. Man, it's gorgeous. So who's next? If no one speaks up, I'm just gonna go to Aries so that the Aries get their coverage on my channel and they stop unsubscribing from me. Okay, no one's saying anything, so I'm gonna go to Aries. Aries. I talked to all of my lovely Aries friends today. I have three gay boy Aries friends in my life that are very near and dear to my heart. And I have great memories with all of them. And they're awesome. So, divine guides, archangels, ancestors, and beings of light, please be present at this reading to show our Aries friends the truest truth, the greatest good, and the clearest path forward. Thank you. Hey, Leora. We're back at it. I'm reading for Aries. Hey, you're welcome, Smita. That's cool. That's a really cool name. I really like the Gayatri mantra. I used to say it a lot when I was in my early 20s. Okay, this is for Aries. Okay, Aries. You've got the sun on your side, which is amazing. So, powerful, strong solar energy, fire energy. This would be something that helps you recharge and feel your vitality again. And it also brings up the overall vibration of this reading so that everything that I'm about to tell you is given a golden glow. So even if we have harsh aspects in the cards coming up, it's softened by the power of the sun. I feel like it's actually easier on my voice to speak louder. Interesting. So, we've got the Prince of Cups. A new emotional offer. And I feel for you a new emotional beginning. So kind of like opening up a bit more. you know, it's not that areas are closed per se, but like being soft and emotional is not really the first order of business. It's something perhaps they come to very last. But we are moving towards the Pisces full moon in your 12th house, duh. And that's going to help you get in touch with the parts of you that are normally not near the surface. That's going to illuminate your unconscious and your subconscious. It's going to bring the power of Neptune in your 12th house to the surface. So lifting the veil on unconscious emotional states and programs and perhaps blocks in our unconscious that come from previous lifetimes or previous events in this lifetime. So kind of just melting the ice on the emotional worlds and you opening up a little bit more. This can also be a water sign male in your life, like a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio. And that's interesting that that's being pointed to here because we have the Two of Cups next. So that's basically something that's talking about, actually it's talking about relationships. Usually the Two of Cups, as you can see, is two people coming together. And so when we have that, like right after the Prince of Cups, that means that, you know, maybe this water sign male is somebody that's coming into your frame of life to open you up a bit, to help you access your emotions, to open your heart, to allow you to show your vulnerability. It's also about being in touch with yourself. So just like knowing what makes you happy, you know, and coming to the realization of what makes you happy. So that sounds very general, doesn't it? But that's what I'm seeing. And I think what's weirdly enough, what I'm seeing here is that this Nine of Wands is encouraging you in the outcome to like not get too overwhelmed. Like don't stress, because basically this guy is like, he's seeing way more wands flying at him in the mirror than are actually there. So it's about not psyching yourself out, because I think that for an Aries, sometimes like opening up just a little bit more can be like really scary, because you know, you're Aries, you've got your like very straight path that you're used to and it works for you, and you're just forging forth, and people just know you to be this certain way. And yet now that you're kind of testing the waters a bit more, you can be like, oh shit, no, I don't want that, this is too freaky. I'm gonna close up again, and I'm gonna be like, you know, it's almost like I'm gonna be a Cancer and I'm gonna clasp up because this is too much for me. And I think that the challenge will be that you think that, okay, so sometimes when we begin to experiment with vulnerability, we can feel like we've made a fool of ourselves to certain people because we're just not used to being in that position, because it's not in terms of the societal, cultural, and emotional strategy of the world. You know, being vulnerable isn't necessarily seen as a power position. Aries wants to be powerful. You know, that's their drive. And so for you, it can be like feeling like a mistake to have opened up. But actually, I think that later down the line, you'll see that this is like a really important process for you to undergo, because it's deepening you. And, you know, as an Aries or any human being, you don't want to just stand on the surface. So basically, sorry, I'm listening to things in the background. Don't be too hard on yourself about feeling like embarrassment or weirdness. Bailey, yes, I did Leo first, so you should watch the replay after I upload it. We did a nice little ceremony for Leo. So, what's the higher blessing here? You are developing, right? You're in a process of development. And so, you've got to really be brave and know that the sun is protecting you, you know? That even though in the short term it may seem like, oh shit, like this was a bad idea, why did I ever do this? Now I feel dumb or awkward. Just know that this is you becoming a greater version of yourself. That's never a comfortable process, but no one is going to be seeing you with the same criticism that you'll be seeing yourself with. So just be open to making mistakes, be open to making a bit of a fool of yourself, because that can really make you feel alive again. And it can reset you on an energetic or even chemical level to kind of experience the adrenaline of being that fool. You know, and the Fool is a really blessed energy in general, and it is very close to the Aries energy, to just be kind of not looking where you're going and not having an agenda and just kind of unconsciously trusting in the universe, you know, trusting in source, and you can be blessed that way, Aries. So don't be afraid of being open. It's gonna be fun, and it's gonna make you a better person. So one more card to catalyze and wrap up and clarify. From the Archangel Inspiration. Love. Let love in, love yourself, be love, and also see that any ups and downs that you may be witnessing, see them through the eyes of love, you know, because what does love do? It just loves, you know, it doesn't blame, shame, or put down. It just wants the best for everyone, and it forgives. So forgive yourself, love yourself, and let other people see the real you so that they can love all of you, not just the part of you that you want people to love you for. That's what I'm feeling. Good job, Aries. You'll be fine. Okay, so who's next? I've done Leo and Aries. Yesterday we did Gemini, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Pisces, Libra, Scorpio, and Virgo. So now we'll do Aquarius. Do I have any Aquarians in the room? Any Aquarians? I am not an Aquarian, but I am on the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces. So I have a touch of Aquarius in me. That's where I get my, you know, weirdness from. My hair is super salty, that's why I keep doing this. Try not to let it tangle. So Aquarius is coming up next. And I have Mercury in Aquarius. So I'm very much into talking about up and coming things, the next wave of consciousness, and I like to be researching things that are kind of before their time. And I'll probably be making more videos soon about things of that nature. So I do love astrology, I do love tarot, but I also like a lot of other stuff. And it's pretty out there, some might say. You know, there's some ideas that I have that I think I may be one of the only people that have these ideas. But probably not. It's just that I might be the first to talk about them. And they're about the future of humanity. They are about the meaning of being a human and where we've come from. So the past as well. So kind of placing ourselves in a greater context in order to understand what life is even about. So subscribe to my channel and look out for those. I'm gonna grab some water real quick and then we'll start with Aries. Aquarius. We out here. Let's do a little sound bowl action to clear the vibe. Nice. Let freedom ring. Sorry. Not sorry. Okay. Aquarius. I didn't even drink my water yet. Hold on. Getting ahead of myself here. I'm a Pisces, so I just drink water straight from the sea. It's good for the soul. Who is out there? Who are these two people? Like, I don't even know who's here with me. Let me know in the chat. Divine guides and angels, star beings and ancestors, please guide the Aquarians to their truest truth, their greatest good, and the clearest path forward. Thank you. Jolly good. Uh-oh. Okay. So Aquarians, you just had one of the most monumental eclipses of the century in your sign last month on July 27th. This was conjunct Mars retrograde, and it was really kind of the death knell of a lot of collective patterning surrounding the way that we invest our emotional energy in fantasies about where our life should take us, and how we try to prove ourselves to society as a whole and try and play the rat race or this clout game in order to be, on the cutting edge and to be basically to find love and acceptance. So we've got to be the best boy or girl, we've got to be the hottest, the richest, etc., etc. And then we have, a 1,000,001 role models and examples of these kind of people in the public eye that are just put in front of us to say, like, be like them and you will be fulfilled. So with that moon, we erased a lot of that patterning in the collective unconscious. And for you in particular, we put to an end the drive to become something or become anything other than what you truly are. So this can be quite devastating to somebody who's been investing in a version of themselves for a long time that it turns out is not the truth. So you can feel like, if this works out, I'm gonna feel good, I'm gonna feel accepted, I'm gonna feel that I have purpose, and I'm gonna have everything I want, and I'm gonna please everyone. And so what I see here in these cards is that suddenly the wheel of fate has turned. And I see that maybe you have gone from feeling really like having conviction about a certain path, and then suddenly maybe feeling like, oh crap, this was not the right course of action, and not so much that it like you chose incorrectly, but actually that you fooled yourself into something that is not right for you, and you may have invested a lot of time and energy. And so as a result, you may be feeling like, oh no, you're just like looking off into the distance like, what have I done? And I think the challenge of this idea comes from you trying to be like a little too traditional, perhaps, in the way that you're doing things. I feel like maybe some Aquarians, I've talked about this before, that Aquarians do have the Uranian aspect to them, and that brings with it the drive to revolutionize and change and be futuristic and on the cutting edge, and to break away from tried and true traditions, and to be really radical. But then there's the side of Aquarians that are also ruled by Saturn, and Saturn really prizes structures and institutions and the things that have been going on for thousands of years, and perhaps like the idea of the patriarchy and white privilege and things of this nature, where a certain way of doing things has been sold to us as the best formula for success. And I feel like what the Aquarians might be going through is that they really invested in that Saturnian structured approach to building their lives, or at least this cycle of their lives. And with that eclipse has come some messages from within and without, that's not the most progressive or satisfying or efficient path to success for them. Like that they're not really going to, sorry, I have hiccups, they're not going to be able to get the most or as much out of the investment as they imagined, or that they won't be able to sustain the path they embarked on, and they might have to quit halfway, or that they just cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so yeah, when you have an eclipse in your first house, it can be feeling dark. That's what an eclipse is. It's the covering up of the sun's light, and so we can feel eclipsed. And so this is interesting. So it's like the eclipse came over and it's like shrouded your path in darkness, and now you're feeling like, oh crap, I'm like stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm not close to getting to my endpoint or my completion or my certificate or my accolade or my whatever, promotion. But at the same time, I'm so far away from who I used to be that was perhaps more fun and light, and the values were truer to who you are as a person. So you're just feeling blocked. You're feeling really blocked, and you're having a hard time, sorry, I keep itching, with the masculine archetypes, with the emperor, with being in control of the foundations of your life, or with dealing with the responsibility that you've brought upon yourself by taking this course of action. So maybe you started to go down a path and you bit off more than you can chew in terms of what it entails that you're going to have to do for, you know, months to years in the future. You know, like perhaps you started to study for a certain career path, and now that you're 2 years into your degree, you're like, I never knew it was going to be this much work, and I may not even be able to handle this much work. And so it can be really hard to have to stop and give your life this hard look and be like, you know, we don't want to be quitters. You know, we're taught that quitting is bad and that failure is shameful. And that's that Saturn influence. That's that really hyper-masculine, left brain, strategic, logical approach that, you know, it all A plus B has to equal C or whatever. Life is not a formula, Aquarius, and I feel that even though you have invested a lot of time and energy into this path, it's not all gone to waste. Because in a certain sense, it's brought you to a place of victory over your own darkness. It's allowed you to build the strength enough to move away from your vices and to get you into a place where you're very whole, complete, and insular to your own energy. It's allowed you to get to a place where you're content with yourself and you know you can trust yourself. Maybe you overshot a little bit on this course of action, but still, you've had so much personal growth happen because of these choices that you made that the end result is probably not that important. Yeah, it's gonna sting for a while that perhaps you're gonna have to back out of something and maybe disappoint some people to stay in line with what you're even capable of. You know, perhaps energetically your bandwidth just cannot handle this workload, or you know, you're just not seeing that. You know, because Aquarius can be so, you know, they can be so knowing of themselves, if anything. You know, even if everything else is just a mental storm of confusion, Aquarius tends to know somewhere within them, because they're a fixed sign, you know, what's going to work for them and what's not. So you're doing fine. You're okay, Aquarius. And on the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Wands. So it's like, it's a personal victory, and you're still developing the greater masterpiece of your life. Maybe you thought this was like your quick fix, and you could just say, yes, I'm going to do this, and it's going to take care of all of these looming questions about where I'm going in life. So that quick fix, you know, quick fixes never last long. They're quick fixes. And so now it's just time to see that anything that's been taken from you or is leaving your life is doing so because it was never meant to stay. And that you, as an Aquarius, can sometimes find yourself in the perfect place when you least expect it. It's like the Aquarius can like take this winding path of being in all these different places and environments and social scenes and groups and etc., and kind of feel like lost in the mix of it all. And then all of a sudden, one day they realize that they knew where they were going the whole time. And they're just like, oh, even though to my Saturnian side that wants a logical progression of events that lead to a satisfying conclusion, my Uranian drive, maybe somewhat as unconscious as it's been, has suddenly wound me up right on the doorstep of right where I needed to be. And I think that those kind of moments are coming for you, Aquarius. So don't worry. And, you know, if it has to be some difficult conversations of letting people know that things are not going to be what they expected, rip that bandage off quick so it doesn't hurt for too long. Right, so have courage to go your own way, because that's the way that's going to make you happy, and you knew that all along. Be tolerant. So Aries can be, I'm sorry, I keep saying Aries. Aquarius can be very fixed in their beliefs. So maybe being more tolerant to yourself and how you see yourself, being more tolerant to what might be right for you, and being more open to see that the super strict and staunch, regimented, and by the book approach, while seemingly safe, is not always the best. So opening your beliefs a little bit. Not saying completely changing them, but just opening them a little bit. And, you know, harmony is around the corner. Or it's already here, you know. If you can separate yourself from perhaps the embarrassment you're feeling, or the shame for not completing something, or the wake-up call or the reality check that you've received, that, you know, a lot of this time and energy might have been in vain in terms of what you thought you were going to get out of it, you still can see that you've grown and healed as a person through the process a lot, and that you do have inner harmony. And if you stop worrying and asking, or appealing to the anxiety of these things I just spoke of, that this place of calm and peace is very active and accessible to you within already. And that's also the place from which you can draw perhaps the inspiration or the guidance you need to make the next step on your journey. Your journey of mastery, Aquarius. So don't be afraid to face your challenges, because if you need your angels, all you have to do is ask for them to help you. I'll do a little work with that with you in a second here, Aquarius. I've been doing more magic lately. And also realizing that I've been doing magic all along without realizing it. So, lovely Aquarians, you're an 11th house sign. You really haven't got much to worry about in this life. Don't get too caught up in your head. And don't worry. You're the masters. And you're protected. Aquarius, wamahiku, you tui matawik, awa kuitum, chawairai, arai toyo, ikiu monotoi, oitsui toimon, urungoi toyaun, arangoik, parasiutu, oikuindonyama, awo. Biggest eclipse of the century in your sign. Big reality checks are par for the course. Don't be too hard on yourself. You'll figure it out. And everyone will love you anyway. Okay? Okay. All right. All right. So, Aries down, Leo down, Aquarius down, 70s hair in action. I'm very calm now. I hope you are too. So, what sign can we do next? Sagittarius or Cancer or Sag, Cancer, is that really true? There's only 2 left? Sag or Cancer? Well, that's cool. I guess that makes sense. Okay, so anybody got a vote? Tell me in the chat, should we do Sag or Cancer? Until someone votes, I'm just gonna take a minute to talk. So I ran into a guy yesterday, and he does video work, and he said, you should do interviews. And I'm like, why is this person telling me to do interviews? It must be for a good reason. So that's something I'm gonna feature on my channel soon. I definitely have astrologers, healers, and mystics that I look up to, that I love to interview. And that's really cool because that's going to bring in new influences into your guys' world. It's going to expose you new viewpoints and give you more tools to work with for healing. Are we going to do Cancer or Sag next? Even if you don't know why, just tell me which one and I'll do it. Okay. If you don't choose, I will, I guess, but I'm gonna put timestamps on this because there's a lot of like dead air time. But I'm gonna do some advertising. So I do personal readings. I do personal readings not only in astrology and tarot, but human design as well. It's very fascinating. It's great for helping you know how to make decisions properly that are always going to be correct for you and that are going to save you time and energy in your life. It's also great for kids to have their human design done by their parents, so I can teach you about who are your children. You know, your children are not just who you program them to be. Your children are somebody already that's come into this world with specific talents and abilities, and you can nurture them by learning more about them. So know thyself, love thyself. Know thy offspring, love thy offspring. I'm also available to teach workshops in many things. I'm great at leading Kundalini yoga classes and just general meditation and shamanic stuff on the kind of light and airy side. Nothing too intense, but things that bring people back to themselves and consolidate their mind, body, and spirit to give them the courage to believe in their desires and dreams. So that's what I do. I'm the spirit advisor, and I'm a galactic shaman. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do Cancer next. I'm a Cancer rising, and so I get to learn about myself now. I'm taking some water first. Give me a like if you like water. Give me a like if you like me. Subscribe to my channel because September videos are coming out soon and they are importante. And so it begins. Unseen friends, guides, helpful spirits, angels, and ancestors, please be present at this reading to show our Cancer friends the clearest path forward, the truest truth, and the greatest good. Thank you. What da 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 da. Excuse me. Well, Cancer. This is big. So, last month, in the beginning, towards the beginning of the month, thanks Roxanne, towards the beginning of the month, you had a solar eclipse, so a new moon, in your sign. So we had a new beginning in Cancer. We had a fresh start for the Cancer ascendants, and we had a time in which we could purge. We could purge any of the old relationships, ideas, or behaviors that would bog us down or tie us to groups of people that basically kept us from our light. So this is something that is really great for Cancers because we can tend to cling, right? We can get very attached to the people in our world, and we can even get attached to toxic people. So this is a really beautiful time for Cancers to just have the first eclipse of the season move through their first house, really cleansing who you are. The second eclipse of the season moving through your 8th house, which is cleansing out and purging obsessive, secretive, and manipulative behavior patterns and thoughts and people, and liberating more of our power and will for our own greatest good and not to serve a bunch of people that are not going to be there for us, because Cancer can also do this. They can be hopelessly devoted to those who do not show up for them in return or when they need it. So the Cancer energy has just been cleansed, and so this recent Leo eclipse has given you a new beginning in how you rule over the resources and the foundations of your life. So we cleansed you. We cleansed the toxic things about other people that you were kind of stuck to. And finally, we've opened a new door in terms of the passions that are going to support you and this new person that you have found yourself to be through the eclipse season. That was a lot. So, this is you, Cancer. In this current position, you're the King of Cups. You're in a beautiful, masterful position here. And you are in control again. You are in control of you. You're in control of your world and who's in it and who's not in it. Amazing, right? So you're feeling good. And you're also in control of your body. So keeping things out of your body that are not going to be good for you, getting the practitioners and specialists that you need to take a deep look into your physical health to get and help you purge anything that doesn't belong there anymore, right? Because we move through a period of purging. That will carry on for this last 6 months of the year, or however many months are left. So your luck is changing. You know, as we drop the baggage, Cancer, we make room for so much more success and light and the good people that can help us and support us in having a peaceful life. Because Cancers are here to be at peace. They're not here to be at war. They're here to be not angry and paranoid and worrying about all these components of their life that are not building towards something that's conducive to happiness. They're here to be in a harmonious, creative flow. And that's what you're moving towards. You are becoming that which is your highest expression of the energy of you. A king. A king. You know, whether you're a man or a woman, it's a monarch. So this king also doesn't need to worry about the haters. You know, all those people that may be talking behind your back because you're finally doing well, standing up for yourself and moving in the direction that you need to, he don't give a care. And that attitude is also very healthy for Cancer because it allows you to push all of this raw power that you have as a being into the creative cycles that you have. Because like you have these claws and you're building, you're weaving, you're slowly, you know, cell by cell, step by step, you're creating. And so to create the greatest masterpiece, we need an unbroken chain, an unbroken gestation. To have a healthy baby, we need a undisturbed pregnancy period. To have a healthy plant, we can't poke at the seed in the soil. We have to let everything just sow and grow in its own divine time. And so now that you've cleared all this disturbance, you've gotten all the crows out of your field, you've gotten all the, you know, toxins, or you're starting to get all the toxins out of your body, things can begin to roll according to schedule. And that gives you mastery over your life. It allows you to take responsibility for the things that need you in your world. And it makes you someone who is claiming their own personal sovereignty, who is allowed to make the calls as they see fit, who is the exemplary Cancer who wears their home right on their body. You know, the shell, the home, is right with them. They're at home wherever they go because their foundations are secure, because their decisions are backed by integrity, and because they can stand by who they've become. So it doesn't matter what anyone says anymore. The challenge might be accepting that things can be good now. Things can be harmonious. Because Cancers can get addicted to crisis. They can get addicted to sadness and pain. So just allowing this to be a peaceful and bright time, it seems to be, is the only challenge. But you've had so much motivation given to you in the form of discomfort and hardship that I'm sure with a little bit more time, you'll be quite okay to quite okay to just accept that things are going to be much better going forward and much calmer and much more in your control. The higher blessing here is that you're also becoming the master of your financial life. So mastering your own element gives you then the power to master your opposite element, which is Earth, Capricorn. So putting the power of structure, finances, physical foundations, you being the boss of your financial life and your resources as well, is coming soon. Because you've had this judgment happen, you've had the clean sweep from the eclipses, and now you're ready. You're being handed the wand, you're being handed the instrument of power and of creation to create your life as you see fit. See also the Emperor in your outcome has his scepter, which is an insignia of authority. So you're being handed the authority over your own life back, and you're merging more with your galactic self. And that's beautiful, because I feel like Cancerian potential is many times wasted on people who aren't worth it for you. Everyone's worth it, but you know, not everyone's needs you to save them. So a song I have for you to look up, it's called Dead to Me by Kali Uchis. And she's a Cancer, and she's like a really good Cancer. You know, she's that creative principle, she's empowered, and it's an anthem about letting people go. So Dead to Me, Kali Uchis, the acoustic version is really good. And here's your catalyst card. Here's your catalyst card from the angels. Yep, it's time to be happy, Cancer. You can have it all in your special, caring, nurturing way. Good job, Cancer. Keep going. Don't look back, and don't listen to the haters. They literally mean nothing to your life. Okay, so final sign, and then we'll be done. Sagittarius coming up next. That's pretty cool. So I'm about to read for Sagittarius. Awesome. Any Saggies in the room? I know there's only 4 of us here, but it'd be cool if a Sag just tuned in. Perfect timing. Okay. Divine guides, angels, ancestors, be present at this reading to give the Sagittarians their clearest path, their truest truth, and their highest good. Thank you. Saggies, Saggies, Saggies. Mushroom, mushroom. You 4 lurkers, you're sitting there watching me, but you're not saying anything. It's a little weird, just gotta say. But you are giving me likes, which is nice. Thanks. Subscribe to my channel. Okay. Saggies. What have we got going on here? You've got a new idea. You think it rocks. You're gonna take that idea and you're gonna run with it. You're gonna manifest the shit out of this new idea you've got because you think it rocks. The problem is, it might ruffle some feathers, and it might be someone else's idea. This brings to me a particular thing, because in your challenge, you have the 7 of Swords. So, 7 of Swords. Right, and so you have the Page of Swords, or sorry, the Princess of Swords, and the outcome you have the Five of Swords. So we go from a place of like, I'm right, I've got this idea. I'm like, you're like, la 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 la, I got this thing. And then you're like, I'm gonna manifest with all of my power. And then everyone's like, whoa, what the fuck? No, 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 whoa. And you're like, I'm gonna fight you to the death over this new idea. It's mine. And then in the Seven, they're like, what's the challenge here? You're not supposed to be fighting. You're not supposed to use swords at all. You're a Sag. You're here to not give a fuck. You're here to just like flit around and like be happy and like have quirky ideas and go with that. You're not really here for ambition. That's a Capricorn's job. So yes, you are kind of looking to be more Capricornian because that's the sign that comes after yours. But you don't need to be ambitious in that way. You're better off being yourself, because when you're your most open, wild, carefree, really it's carefree self, that's when stuff just gets handed to you. And the stuff that's getting handed to you is contributing way more to a sense of satisfaction, peace, and success in your life than you trying to cut through and fight your way to the top. So this is a quick message, Sag. Don't fight, and use manifestation and those kind of occult ideas very sparingly. Use any kind of idea that's structuring sparingly. So instead of trying to structure this new business or, put yourself under this new program that's going to rebuild you into a better version of yourself, try instead to just let go as much as possible, to just put down any idea that you have to fight for what you want, and adopt the quirkiest, the most unusual, and the most random ideas about what you could maybe do in your life to make a life for yourself. Because those are what is going to develop into something worthwhile. So let's seal the deal with an angel card. And get out of your head, Sag. You don't need to overthink anything. Archangel Michael, number 1. Again, he's got the sword. Let Archangel Michael deal with it. Let him be the warrior. Let him be this like force of action and impetus. You just get to be. That's the best thing about Sagittarius. Just being a human. Angelic little human. Right? Just be content. That's your power position. And this is a Sag card. Look at her wings. They're so Sag to me. I think her name is Archangel Valuel. Very cool. And, right, embrace change. Embrace that you don't have to do it. You don't have to struggle or strive. You're the Sag. You're the top of the sky. You can just get the funny little idea and go. The funnier, the more innocent, the more content, the more carefree, the better. All right? So that is the report for all signs for the time period between the 14th and the 26th full moon in Pisces this month. Roxanne, Start with your Aquarius rising reading. That will let you know the tangible events that are going to be happening around you. So like day to day, what's most likely to transpire in your world that you will see happening, that's going to be your rising. Then watch your sun sign. Your sun sign is going to give you the hints as to the changes on an inner level. So what's influencing your innermost essence, your spiritual growth, and your relationship with yourself. And the moon is going to have to do with your mind, your emotions, and your relationships. So I like to watch all three. I will do the timestamps on this one so you'll be able to locate everything. All the signs that weren't covered on this video were covered last night. I want to end this video now. Bye. Oh, dang it. I'm going to be here for another second. I was trying to end it right at 11111 because I'm cheesy like that. But anyway, we got through them all. Thank you for watching. I am the Spirit Advisor. I'm available for readings. I love doing personalized readings. I have a website, thespiritadvisor.com. You can email me by emailing Dylan, D-Y-L-A-N, at thespiritadvisor.com. And be sure to like and subscribe, share if you care to, leave me comments, and be on the lookout for your September monthly reports, as well as a video on the upcoming full moon in Pisces. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing time, space, and energy with me. I'm wishing you the best. Spirit Advisor out.